It seems like just yesterday, basketball fans were watching a young LaMelo Ball show off dribbling tricks and deep three-pointers in viral highlight reels. Today, he's one of the NBA's most exciting young players, generating buzz on and off the court. From his unconventional path to the league to his flashiness and court vision, here's what you need to know about LaMelo Ball's journey and why so many believe he's a franchise-changing talent. Coming into the league, LaMelo made an instant impression, proving he was prepared for the NBA. With his dazzling no-look passes and bold scoring, he quickly became a crowd favorite. Critics who doubted his shooting skills or maturity had to reconsider their opinions. Even after a wrist injury kept him off the court for several weeks, he made a triumphant return late in the season, eventually earning the 2021 NBA Rookie of the Year title. You may be asking yourself, what just unfolded? A player trying a one-legged fadeaway from 29 feet that got swatted away, only to suddenly dash in and leap between two defenders to tip the ball back to an open teammate. For the average player, that would be the highlight of their season. But for LaMelo Ball, this is just another day on the court. He's a whirlwind of creativity, relentlessly pushing the limits of basketball in a way that no one in NBA history has done before. LaMelo's showcasing some incredible skills with his one-legged half-jump fakes from beyond the arc. Just take a look at this move. He steps back and fakes a shot off his front leg. Sure, it might have been a travel in a strict sense, but how often do you witness a player poised on their toes, ready to unleash a lightning-fast three-pointer? Take his Larry Bird homage in Milwaukee. He throws in a shot from behind the backboard, falling out of bounds. It bounced in, so naturally against the Miami Heat, he tried the same thing. This time double-teamed, rolling the shot off the top of the backboard and missing. And in that sequence, a teammate was wide open for a layup in the paint. Against the Pistons, LaMelo lost his dribble, got it back with just 6 seconds left on the shot clock, and unleashed a spinning shot put from half court. In reality, he was trying to spin into his defender to draw a foul, using a two-handed catapult for extra power. Since we know he can spin away from a defender if he wants to, here he chose to bang into his man to salvage the possession, then calmly drained a leaning 40-footer. LaMelo Ball has always had flair in his game, but what sets him apart is the sheer abundance of creativity. Look at this example. He's guarded by Giannis Antetokounmpo, yet he pulls off an outrageous crossover, picks the ball up, and finger rolls it at the rim. He halts his dribble early to avoid Brook Lopez's shot-blocking presence. Another approach would have been going off the wrong leg, but either way, Ball is constantly mixing and matching his footwork. He's grown stronger and more balanced since entering the league at 19. At 6'7", with ball handling skills and quickness, he's become more effective at driving, and his free throw rate's improved. He has countless tricks to pressure the rim, contorting his body into preposterous positions that look like an NBA dunk contest mid-air freeze frame. LaMelo Ball's impressive size for a guard can easily be overlooked, especially with his rapid-fire agility on the court. However, that high-energy approach can sometimes result in turnovers. There are moments when his enthusiasm gets the best of him, causing him to overextend his footwork for a long pass that ends up in the stands. Over the past 50 years of tracking turnovers, LaMelo sits at 8th place all-time in this category, averaging close to 5 turnovers for every 75 possessions. While adjusting for his significant usage and playmaking responsibilities softens the blow, the numbers still raise some concerns. At times, he finds himself a step ahead of his teammates, which can lead to miscommunication on the floor. His choice of shots can be a bit erratic, resembling a completely crazy style when he launches attempts from 30 feet out early in the shot clock. Over half of his three-point attempts come from beyond 27 feet, marking the highest rate of deep shots in NBA history. Despite this, he manages to connect on around 36% of those attempts, which is totally respectable. He might want to reconsider some of those ultra-deep shots where his success rate dips below 30%. However, there's a strategic edge to his far-out shooting. It forces defenders to guard him all the way at half court. This dynamic between his shooting potential and the pressure he puts on defenders enhances his scoring ability, which is currently among the best for a 23-year-old since Michael Jordan in 1987. One player who comes to mind with a comparable blend of skill, creativity, and a tendency to take risks is Pete Maravich. Known as Pistol Pete, he was like a player from the future playing in the NBA, known for his flashy passes and fearless shots from every corner of the court during the 1970s. Turnovers were a common problem for him. Similar to Maravich, LaMelo sometimes struggles to convert his stunning highlights into consistent performance. His teams repeatedly face challenges, raising the intriguing question, if he were to refine his game and adapt to a more structured system, could his influence on the court improve dramatically? Another player who changed the game was Magic. At 6'9", Magic was the first big guard capable of directing the offense, defending various positions, and serving as a primary ball handler. LaMelo at 6'7" also leverages his height effectively. Like Magic, he possesses remarkable court vision, allowing him to see over defenders and deliver passes that smaller guards might overlook. Johnson transformed the fast break with his no-look passes, precise alley-oops, and an uncanny ability to set up teammates for easy scores. Magic's passes were rarely flashy for the sake of it. They were so well-timed that he maintained a low turnover rate despite high usage. Ball is known for his eye-catching, crowd-pleasing passes, including one-handed transition throws and behind-the-back assists. While he sometimes overreaches, leading to turnovers, his young ability to read defenses is truly remarkable. Magic executed with surgical precision, making the extraordinary seem commonplace in the 1980s. LaMelo's passing style is equally bold, though he may require time to enhance his decision-making. His speed, awareness, and shooting ability could be explosive when paired with elite talent, and his off-ball movement remains largely underutilized at this point. Some players require the ideal circumstances to truly thrive, and it would be fascinating to see LaMelo in a more developed context rather than improvising with a team full of other young talents. LaMelo Ball's star potential is evident every time he steps onto the court. While he has faced hurdles, ranging from injuries to learning curves in his shot selection, his overall package as a player remains undeniably enticing. His court vision in particular sets him apart, as he consistently spots angles and opportunities that most guards never even consider. Beyond his physical and technical gifts, LaMelo carries himself with a confidence that's been honed by his unconventional path to the NBA. From playing overseas in Lithuania and Australia to growing up in a family constantly in the spotlight, he's been tested in ways few prospects ever are. This background forged a mental resilience and poise that shine through in tense late-game situations. His willingness to take and often make off-balance threes or no-look passes is more than just flair. It reflects a belief in his abilities and a determination to figure things out as he goes. Despite the glitz and fame that come with his family name, LaMelo has shown a willingness to learn and adapt. He's worked diligently to refine his defense and balance his highlight reel instincts with more efficient decision-making on offense. As he grows into his body and continues refining his shot selection, he'll likely see his efficiency rise and his turnovers decrease, two key factors that could transform him from an electric prospect into a perennial all-star. Ultimately, it's LaMelo's potential to be a long-term cornerstone for his team that has analysts projecting him as a future mainstay among the NBA's elite. If his shooting numbers continue to climb and he stays healthy enough to build chemistry with better supporting talent, the Hornets, or any future roster he leads, could become a hard force. LaMelo's influence goes beyond the stat sheet. He represents a new era of athletes who've risen to prominence on social media before even touching an NBA court. His fearless style of play, global background, and magnetic presence have re-energized fans, especially in markets that aren't traditionally basketball hotbeds, such as Charlotte. In many ways, he shows how the NBA is evolving. Players are entering the league with a built-in international fan base, brand deals, and an unabashed sense of showmanship. For the Hornets, he's not just a star player, he's the face of their future, a key to unlocking playoff possibilities and generating excitement in a competitive Eastern Conference. LaMelo Ball is one of the most creative basketball players we've seen in a long time. He lives at the intersection of chaos and genius, and the results can be spectacular. I believe he's one of the brightest young stars in the league, and a player worth watching for years to come.